Each year, Microsoft Research hosts hundreds of influential speakers from around the world, including leading scientists, renowned experts in technology, book authors, and leading academics, and makes videos of these lectures freely available.
Alexa? I don't have slides for you.
No.
Okay.
Similarly, I have just started really thinking about this and thinking about hermits, and potentially, for those who saw the Misfit Economy video earlier today, thinking about adding them into the book and potentially profiling this archetype of misfit, and really saying we focus so much attention on external innovation, but what can we learn from those people that have actually pioneered methods of internal innovation? And it seems closely aligned in some ways to talk of introversion, because these people voluntarily remove themselves from society to have these experiences. And this all got initiated. My friend Steve and I decided that we wanted to create these personas when we go to conferences, and I totally failed to do this, but if I come back next year, I promise to do this. And that is, we have this one persona called the Amish Futurist. And the Amish Futurist goes to tech conferences like these and tries to predict what's trending and what's new for the tech landscape, while having this total aversion for tech and also not being exposed to anything remotely technological. And so, thinking about a character like the Amish Futurist, I wanted to really explore what someone like that could teach us about innovation. And I to be honest, I don't know. I only have 6 minutes, but I'm really hoping that some of you, anyone who's had a really intense solitary experience or has experimented with things that maybe approach the hermit lifestyle, or have ideas about how, that kind of voluntary leave of absence from society can actually make you more innovative, I'd really love to hear from you. And in the next 24 hours, if I can sort of develop a business case around this for this persona producing some powerful lessons, then this could be a new chapter in the misfit economy that we birth here at this conference. And really the last thing that I'll say is I grew up right outside of Cambridge, Mass, so quite near to Walden. And Walden has always had this special connotation for me, and have been reading a lot about Thoreau recently, and the kinds of things that he taught us and what we could potentially look to people like him for. And it's interesting to look at what that personality represents. Someone who had this intense desire for, maybe he would be a maker in our terms today, but this intense desire for self-reliance, who was called by a friend of his, Louisa May Alcott, said this thing about him, basically saying he was unfit for society, that his virtue would remain intact because he was so hideous and ugly, meaning that no one would ever do anything naughty with him. And so what is someone like that who's written this canonical book about actually getting to really interrogate yourself and getting to know yourself? What can someone like that teach you? And this is through the Misfit Economy experience. I've been speaking to all these people who have spent time in prison, who've spent time in solitary confinement, and who know themselves and have this level of insight into themselves that is so much more profound than the kinds of dialogues I have with myself, or I see other people having with themselves. So really just feel free to come up to me, share your weird misfit experience, and I'd love to try and see if this can become a chapter in the book.